let's just explain on one particular example. Okay, now there are many of the patients which I see who specifically come to me, or my fellow dietitians, coming with the name of starting with a keto diet. They come and they just randomly say that we want to start with a keto diet. Now let's just understand this basic. Why was this keto diet invented? The keto diet specifically was invented for the purpose of treating the patient with epilepsy. Under the normal condition, it is a glucose which plays an important role for providing energy to our brain. But what is done in keto diet? It is like an artificial kind of starvation situation you are creating within your body, wherein you are depriving yourself completely of carbs. When you are doing this, you're not providing any form of carbs to your body. Your body is been pushed in a force to create an environment of ketosis, wherein only ketone bodies, that is your fat, is used as a source of energy. Within the first few days, you start getting, certain reactions like nausea, vomiting. You even get
Bhavya,
fever in many cases.
uh, I'm really sorry to interrupt. Can you please come a little closer to the camera? Your image is
Am
breaking.
I visible now? Is it okay?
Yeah, better. Thank you.
Better? Okay.
Yeah.
So I was just telling that an artificial condition of ketosis has been created, and as a result of which your body uses oxaloacetate as a source of energy. During this course of time, there are so many mishaps happening in your body. One of the major reason of getting gallbladder stones, which I have encountered, is because in the past the client or the patient has undergone a keto diet. So can you imagine the kind of pressure or the kind of a kind of situation you're creating in your body, that it leads to multiple health effects. Okay, another one is intermittent fasting. I'm not against intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is definitely a good form of diet. But with the increasing trend, I see many of them starting intermittent fasting without any medical supervision. Understand, there are experts, there are health workers, there are nutritionists, there are dietitians. You need to understand your body, you need to understand the pathophysiology of your body before starting any form of diet, because you have different demographics, your height, weight, your medical history, your medical issues. All those things needs to be considered before starting any form of diet. When you say a healthy diet, okay, so a healthy balanced diet is a diet which comprises of all the nutrients present in your plate, foods which are locally available. When you say that, for example, you are staying somewhere close to, for example, you are an Indian and you start having avocados on daily basis. See, you might have it for a particular period of time, for 2 days, 3 days maximum, but what after that? So choosing something which is locally easily available is what something makes your diet as not only balanced but also sustainable. Include variety. It is
Bhavya,
important. Yeah, can you see me now?
yeah, I'm really sorry. I think there's some issue with the image. Can you please remove it? I think then it'll be fine.
You want me to remove the?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, just hold on.
Yeah, perfect, perfect.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Am I audible now?
Yes, Bhavya.
Okay, so I was just discussing that, a balanced diet is something which is sustainable. As I always say, it's not just one particular, focusing on one particular food or focusing on one particular, nutrient is of no use. A balanced diet is the one which has a combination of your carbohydrates, proteins, fats. Nowadays, with the increasing trend, I basically see that people, I mean, eliminating fats completely. They are like not using fat in any form, like not even visible. That invisible fat consumption has also been reduced to a very great extent. It is important to understand that whether you are on a weight loss or a weight gain or whatsoever diet, 25 to 30%, minimum 25 to 30% of your total kilocalories should come in from fat. The reason being that fat is required as an important source of your fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, K, of your essential fatty acids. Along with that, fat is also required as a component of your vital organs lining. When a kind of jerk or any kind of mishap happens, it's your organs are being protected from kind of a jerk or anything because of this fat membrane. Fats are an important source of mufas and pufas, essential fatty acids which are not synthesized in your body, and they are dietary essential. So these all things come through your fats and oils. So avoiding or eliminating any food group from your diet is not what is recommended. All right. Other than that, a sustainable diet, a balanced diet is the one which comprises of a balanced meal which has good amount of your carbohydrates, your proteins, your fats, 3 to 4 servings of your fruits and vegetables. Again, I always focus on colors. It's not a rocket science. The basic thing is to understand 2 to 3 different colors of fruits and vegetables included in your plate, because different fruits and different vegetables, seasonal vegetables and fruits, are different sources of your nutrients and antioxidants. They provide you a varied amount of nutrients. It's not, I always see people being focused when you call or when you tell about salads, it's only cucumber and tomato. you know they don't tend to eat something of like carrots. Then you have so many other things which you can include in your salads, but it's just like monotonous for them. Include different kinds of vegetables in your salads. It could be your carrots, tomatoes, it could be your oranges in your salads. Or else the best thing that you can do is just having one apple, before your meal also. The reason being, it has good amount of soluble fiber. A soluble fiber is required not only as a probiotic which can help improve your gut microflora, but it is also an excellent source of providing nourishment. Okay, it's a simple thing. When you say that you want to include good amount of fruits and vegetables, keep a rule of thumb: one fruit with a skin, like an apple, pear, peach, plum; one citrus fruit. Citrus fruits should be consumed immediately. Once you damage the outer tissue, for example, once you open the orange or guava, when you cut the guava, our ancestors always used to say that, from our grandparents always used to say, when you have a guava, don't cut it, eat it as a whole. The reason means, so there's a reason behind that. When you cut, the vitamin C is getting destroyed. So just have it as a whole. Lemon, we just cut it half and then put it in the refrigerator. Every second, every minute, the vitamin C is getting lost. Okay, orange is also, when you just, as soon as you open the peel, the loss of vitamin C is increasing. So consume it immediately. Vitamin C has really increased its importance, especially in this COVID times, because of its immunity factor. Definitely vitamin C is vital for the immunity as well. Okay, so it is important. See, we say that I'm having oranges, I'm having lemon water, I'm having this, but still I have a problem. In what method you're having, in what way you're having, are you been following, have been able to preserve that vitamin C or not? We also rely heavily on supplements. See, understand, there is also something called as bioavailability. No matter, even if you're having a multivitamin, no matter whatever you're having, if your body is not going to absorb it, it's of no use. So body has a tendency to absorb nutrients which are coming from the natural sources at a much more better pace than as compared to the ones coming from the supplements. And understand one thing: no matter what best supplement you have been having, that as soon as you take that pill, numerous amounts of microorganisms, your gut microflora is killed. The reason being, it's a kind of situation wherein major of your microbes have been killed. Whether you say good or especially on antibiotics, it's like a blast inside your gut microflora wherein your good and bad bacteria both are been killed. That's one of the major reasons that the patients who are or the clients who are on antibiotics, I highly recommend to have good amount of probiotics. You can include probiotics, prebiotics, and symbiotics. Some of the examples could be your curd, fresh prepared curd. Okay, curd has one important thing to understand. We Indians have a tendency to prepare curd in very large quantity, and then we keep it in refrigerator. Understand that's also a culture medium we are putting in the milk, and then it multiplies, forms a curd. That's a curdling of your milk. Don't keep it for a very long period of time. It becomes sour. Okay, when it becomes sour, the problem with there are some sensitive people, and they get throat infection or something. That is because of excess of lactic acid which has been produced as you have stored for an overall longer period of time. Okay, so store it for a period of time, consume it, and then make it again. A fresh batch is much more better than the one which you have been storing for a long period of time. Yogurt is also an excellent source of probiotic. The gut microflora content has similar organisms in yogurt, which we cannot prepare in curd. Okay, so yogurt is also an excellent source of probiotic. You can include good amount of fiber. Okay, so fiber itself is a food for your gut microflora, which can improve the digestion absorption. 80 to 90% of your health problems are some or the other way associated with the health of your gut microorganisms. If they are healthy, they will absorb the food better. Your nutrients will be absorbed in a much more better manner. Your absorption, assimilation, digestion, everything is under their control. In fact, as per the recent research, as per the recent meta-analysis, I would say, the mental health is also been very well linked with the content of your gut microflora. Okay, so it is important to have a good, healthy, balanced diet. When you call of proteins is something which has really gained a lot of craze amongst the masses. I always see that people are crazy for getting those protein supplements. Understand one thing, okay? It depends on the intended use. When do we, in our clinical practice, we recommend supplements? It's only when through the food and diet, the protein requirements of the patient are not met. It's only in that case we recommend the supplements. As a simple math, let me just tell you. As per your ideal body weight, you need zero point 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per kg of your ideal body weight. Okay, not your current weight. Your current weight would be more or less than what is your ideal body weight. As per your ideal body weight. For example, a 60 kgs person would need a 60 gram of protein. Okay, you take supplement, you are unnecessarily putting load on your kidneys. See, understand one thing, proteins are excellent and they are required for your metabolism, but at the same time they have a lot of nitrogenous waste products. Your kidney has to really work a lot in order to remove those products and then get the pure source of proteins. Until and unless you are obviously under a medical supervision and your requirements are more, when your expenditure is more, you are something into bodybuilding or something, then your protein supplements or you need protein good amount. Otherwise, with the diet, you can definitely meet up your a balanced diet can definitely meet up your protein requirements. Okay, so that is important. When you come to carbs, carbohydrates are the ones which are most controversial. Whether you call it in the form of weight maintenance, or else weight gain, weight loss, or whatsoever, whatever your health goal is, carbohydrates have always been blamed. Now I see with the increasing people, they come to me and they say we want to go completely off wheat, we want to stop milk and milk products. you know See, understand one thing, you have been having chapatis, you have been having wheat since childhood. One fine day you just stop having it, it's not going to help you in achieving almost anything. One important thing to understand is that wheat and milk and milk products should be avoided only if you have any kind of intolerance. When should wheat be avoided? It should not be avoided if you don't have gluten intolerance. Gluten intolerance is a condition wherein the person lacks the enzyme which is required for the digestion of gluten, that is, which is present in wheat. Until and unless if you don't have any intolerance, there is no need for you to avoid it. Secondly, lactose intolerance. Lactose intolerance is a condition wherein you cannot digest milk because it has lactose, because you do not have lactase, an enzyme which is required for the digestion. So then you are supposed to avoid. Okay, until and unless you don't have any intolerances, there are many myths and many things. There are certain studies and certain things associated, but there are no meta-analysis. Meta-analysis, it's a very big trial, or you could say a composition of different researchers which has really proven in a way that we can recommend that they should be avoided. There are no such studies present. Till then, I would never recommend to you for you to stop your wheat or your lactose or anything. Have a balanced meal. Okay, so start from your proteins, your carbs, your fats. Along with that, equally important is your macro is one and micro is important thing. We always try to eat and fulfill our macros, your carbohydrate, protein, and fat, but we forget to meet up your our micros. That's your vitamins and minerals. Understand one thing: your body is getting energy through your carbohydrates, proteins, and fat. But to function efficiently, for your good amount of your hair health, your skin health, everything, each and everything is dependent on the amount of micros as well. As per your calorie needs, your micros are also equally important. Where do you get these micros? Your fruits and your vegetables are an excellent source of your micronutrients, that is, of vitamins and minerals. Meeting up only carbohydrates, proteins, and fat is not going to complete your health goal. As I always say, keep a rule of thumb: have one fruit with a skin, one citrus fruit, and your fruits and your vegetables, 2 to 3 different colors which are locally and easily available in your area. Don't go for something which is not available. You try and get it from some other area, incorporate in your diet for a particular period of time, and then stop it. Things which are sustainable. Incorporate microgreens. It is such an amazing thing that you can do. So microgreens are what? You're supposed to sprout. A simple example of microgreen that I can give you is of methi seeds. So you're supposed to sprout methi seeds, okay, and then those sprouts have been and then you have to just take some amount of soil, put those seeds in that, and after you have to just keep on watering it. After a week, you can see small microgreens growing from it. They have numerous health benefits, which is so cheap that within a week you get such nice, amazing microgreens which you can incorporate in your salads. They are been proven with amazing nutrient value. They are been proven to have reduced cholesterol levels. They help you maintaining your blood pressure. They are also been proven to improve your gut microflora to a very good extent. And what does it take? It does take a minimal time to be incorporated, and gives you wholesome food with numerous health benefits. See, certain things are been there. We know it also, but the most difficult part is to implement. Knowing is one part, implementing is other. We have there are certain mindsets that we have been keeping it that through years I've been doing this. It's better that I do this. There's a time that you have to stop. You have got certain problems. You have not been able to achieve your health goal because of certain lifestyle things what you've been doing. So it's a time to stop, change it, make certain changes, and make sure in a way that you're making the changes to achieve your desired goal. So it is important to understand what your body needs. There's always a difference in between your need and your want. Okay, your body needs certain nutrients in a balanced diet, but you want because of certain factors, whether you call it social factors, that your some XYZ friend is doing some trending diet, or some of them you have seen certain people getting results with keto or intermittent fasting. Understand one thing: you have no ideas of what they have problems. You have no ideas that in future what are they going to get. So it's better that you always get yourself in your achieving your health goal under a trained medical supervision or a trained professional. It is very much important. Coming back to the topic of a balanced diet, I would highly recommend a simple thali. Let me just explain you in a much more better manner that a 2000 kilocalorie diet consisting of a balanced meal should consist of two chapatis of whole wheat or a multigrain flour. Multigrain flour, which would be much more better as it has different grains. So you can incorporate your ragi, your bajra, your jawar, your whole wheat. Okay, so it's giving different sources. I've been giving different sources of your nutrients, macros and micros. Okay, a glass full of buttermilk or a cup of curd. Okay, again a milk and milk product has been coming. Two vegetables. One would be a green leafy vegetable and one would be a sprout. Green leafy vegetables are an excellent source of your minerals. Okay, especially in females, it is quite common. 50% of Indian females are anemic. The reason being they do not get good amount of iron or iron rich sources in their diet, and that's how they are anemic. Okay, इन कॉमन लैंग्वेज हम लोग ऐसे भी कहते हैं कि खून की कमी इसी वजह से होती है बिकॉज योर डेली रिक्वायरमेंट्स ऑफ आयरन आर नो वेयर मेट. Important thing, when you are a vegetarian and if you're having a good amount of iron rich sources, still your hemoglobin is not increasing because you are not combining that iron rich source with vitamin C. When you combine your iron rich source with vitamin C, the absorption of iron is increased. Okay, this is not the fact for the non-veg sources. For vegetarian sources specifically, अगर आपका खून नहीं बढ़ रहा है, combine an iron rich source like a green leafy vegetable along with a vitamin C, जैसे कि नींबू का पानी पी लिया साथ में, something as simple as that. Okay, so that is one of the part. It should also contain pulses. Okay, so a bowl full of dal. Dal should be thick. Okay, or it should be not like watery dal, it's of no use. If you're a non-vegetarian, one serving of your chicken or fish can definitely be included. Make sure while cooking meats, be very sure you're cooking it properly. Okay, if the meat has not been cooked, it can be a source of microbial contamination and could lead to other complications. So it's better to cook it properly. Okay, Indian fishes are an excellent source of omegas. But what happens because of faulty cooking methods? We cook it for so long, we roast it, we don't steam it. Roasting it for a longer period of time damages omega 3 and omega 6, which is required for your healthy skin. To understand this thing, that you might be eating a balanced diet, but if your method of cooking is not good, it's of no use. Understand that. Okay, coming back to your balanced complete plate. So as I told you, your proteins are met, your carbs, your vegetables. Okay, milk and milk product means you can include your curd or buttermilk, and fat could be in the form of the ghee or oil which you use in the preparation. Okay, so that's a visible fat which has been coming. So definitely this would be a balanced meal. Okay, but make sure each and every meal you have, it should be a mindful eating. It's not like just TV is on, you're just having this for the namesake, and then you're not concentrating. See, the meal which you have been having, you should chew it properly. Once you chew it, your body, it goes inside your system. The better you chew, better absorption of those nutrients take place. If the surface, for example, I see people completing their entire meals because of rush within 10 minutes. What are you eating? Your body is not going to absorb it in spite of having a balanced diet. You have to chew it properly so it is broke down in a way that your small intestine is going to absorb maximum nutrients. I see a lot of people drinking water frequently in between the meals. That is also what I not recommend. You are diluting it. Okay, the bolus what you're having, you're diluting it. I also get to know people who talk a lot while eating. Now understand one basic theory, when you talk while eating, so the bolus, that is the food what you've been eating, you are also swallowing the air. Once you swallow so much amount of air, you are also getting a lot of air along with your food, which can also lead to bloating. हम काफी बार बोलते हैं मुझे गैस होता है, मुझे bloating बहुत फील होती है. Just stop talking while eating. This will also make a lot of difference. Or else having a combination of ajwain and jeera also releases your bloating to a good extent. Okay, so there are some simple ways wherein you can have a balanced diet, and at the same time make sure you exercise. Eating one is an important part, increasing your metabolism in a way that the blood supply is improved and your intestines, which have absorbed the nutrients, is been able to reach till the tip of your finger only when you have good circulation. So having a balanced diet is equally important when it is combined with a structured physical activity. That is what I would like to tell, that always have a balanced meal combined with a structured physical activity. Over to you, Madhu.
Thank you, Bhavya. Thank you so much. Like, we came to know a lot of things which we had no idea about. And so, do we have any questions, guys?
what all doubts or what all queries you have related to your balanced diet or anything that you want to ask, definitely you can ask me.
Okay, so we have a question here from Saurav. What is the difference between plant-based protein and animal-based protein? Does it make any difference?
Okay, so when you say a plant-based protein is something which is majorly consist of soybeans, okay, because a concentrated source of proteins in vegetarian sources are soybeans, which is genetically modified. Okay, no matter whatever researches have been taking place for the plant-based proteins, they are considered as a good source of protein. But if you are a person who has been eating non-veg or animal-based protein since childhood, I would not recommend you to stop and go completely towards plant-based protein. The reason being, your body is not going to accept it in a way that it was accepting meat-based protein. So definitely, plant-based protein is good, but if you're a one who is having since childhood, both the sources combine it. Don't go to one extreme.
So we have one more question from Ashwat. Does the time of the day matter when it comes to eating?
Definitely. So now let's take a simple example. Okay, for years you have been having your lunch at 1 o'clock because of some office timing changes, or we have just enrolled in some international MNC, and your timing of your lunch has now changed to 3 o'clock. 1 o'clock, your hydrochloric acid, the acid which is produced in your stomach, which is required for the process of digestion and to kill the microorganisms, starts secreting exactly at 1. From 1 till 3, it has been secreted. It is revolving inside your stomach. It has no idea whether you have taken the food or not. Your body has its own clock. For 2 hours, it's going to circulate inside the wall of your stomach, and that is how it can cause to peptic ulcer on a long run. So definitely the meal timings are utmost important. Make sure you have a proper routine. See, your work life is important, but your health is also equally important. Make your priorities. Make sure your meal timings are proper in a way that you are not punishing your body. On a long run, see, initially you might not be able to, understand. In the young age, आपको कोई problem नहीं होगा. After 35, after 40, you will start getting all those problems. Whether you say peptic ulcer, whether you say hypertension or other problems, this all are associated with lifestyle.
Okay, we have a question from Jagashri. Ideal weight means height versus age ratio. Is it?
See, ideal, there's a chart. If you want, I'll share it. So, for different age groups, there's a different ideal body weight as per the height. A simple math to calculate. Okay, for example, your height is 156 centimeter minus 100. 156 में से 100 निकाल दिया, 56 is your ideal body weight. This not is not always applicable. It's just the simplest layman could understand, is one of the way which you can calculate your ideal body weight. Okay, and depending on your occupation, whether you're sedentary, moderate, or extreme working person, your calorie count has been decided.
Okay, so we have a question from Dharman. What best we can do for hair care?
Okay, for hair care, now understand one thing: hair is also a dead protein, keratin. But what happens, your body has certain priorities. It gives first most priorities to its organs and nourishment of other things, and the last thing it gives a priority is only and only to your hair, which is the last priority. So what happens when you have only 50 to 60% of the requirements of your proteins? Your care would be given only to your organs, not to your hair, and as a result of which your hair start falling. There are multiple reasons for your hair fall. This is one of them in context of nutrition. It could be also your deficiency of your biotin, zinc. Your We always meet our carbohydrate, protein, and fat, but we cannot meet our micros. As a result of which we get hair fall. For getting a good amount of hair strength, and you can say hair health, you need to have a balanced diet. Along with that, something as simple as which you can incorporate in your diet is curry leaves. Okay, curry leaves are excellent for your hair. So what you can do, you can just sun dry them, powder it, and then just 1 tablespoon either in your gravies, or else you can even put it in your detox water and keep sipping it, or else just put it in whatever sabji or whatever you're making and consume it. That really helps a lot.
Okay, so we have a question from Aprajita. Should we control the amount of water intake in a day?
See, ideally, on a 2000 kilocalorie diet, you need 2.5 to 3 liters of water. I have seen people going to 5 or 6 liters of water. You don't need so much. Ideal way to to know whether your water intake is good or not, the color of your urine should be completely pale yellow or colorless. If it's dark yellow, that means your water is very less than what is required. Your kidney is really putting a lot of strain for excreting the waste and then getting a concentrated urine. So urine color decides whether your water intake is proper or not.
We have a question from Gayatri. Is balanced diet, which you mentioned, is applicable for breakfast and dinner, or it is only for lunch?
See, that is for lunch and dinner as a balance, besides any specific health goal. For breakfast, obviously, you need a combination of all these nutrients, but it cannot be always a thali. You can just combine a combination of carbohydrates, proteins, and vegetables. Something as simple as that, depending on your cuisine. For example, you are a person who eats poha, just don't have plain poha, add vegetables to it. Okay, your green peas, your carrots, your tomatoes, have it along with lemon squeezed on the top. It increases the iron absorption. Poha is a good source of iron, but we never have it with the lemon. Fresh cut lemon incorporated. If you're having upma, add again vegetables to that. If you're having besan ka chila, make it like a wrap and have it in the form of a besan wrap. Incorporate the little changes that will definitely make your meal as a balanced meal.
We have a question from Supriyo. We are hearing the intermittent fasting. Is it effective?
See, intermittent fasting is good. It has many benefits, but when it is done in a proper manner, okay, and it should not be done without any medical supervision. Trust me, I have seen people losing 15 to 20 kgs within couple of months or maximum 3 months, and then they have been hospitalized, gaining back the entire weight what they had lost with multiple complications. Never ever try to lose or gain weight without any kind of medical supervision. The reason being, you have no idea about how your body works. You have no idea about the calorie count, about the proteins, your fiber, and all those things. If it is done in a proper way, it has good benefits. But if it's not done in a proper way, it has worst effects. So definitely should be done under supervision.
We have a question from Harshini. How to control eating junk? Yeah, it's a question from me as well.
Don't
It's very difficult to do that.
don't get it in front of you. When it comes in front of you, you tend to eat. Okay, now see, this is one thing, but understanding what, see, eating a junk meal is, one meal is not going to help you gain weight, neither lose weight or achieve your desired health goal. Having once in a while, I also eat once in a while, there's nothing wrong in having it. Control the portion size. It should, instead of having a big large size of pizza, just have 2 3 pieces, just have it in small proportions. Okay, and when you feel like having it, should be not very often. Understand, craving for anything is also your body's signal to understand that it is deficient in some nutrient. It is trying to get that nutrient, and that's how it is showing in the form of craving. So understand where this craving is originating from. Once you treat that, you'll stop getting such cravings also.
Okay, so we have a question from Tanishk. How should one quit or decrease sugar intake?
Okay, so sugar is something, again, has, you don't intend to have sugar, it is the craving which you get. One simple way which I always recommend to my all patients is that a liter of water, add 2 to 3 pinch of cinnamon powder to it. Cinnamon has its own sweet taste. Okay, so when you keep having or keep sipping that water, your brain gets the thing that something sweet I'm having, जबकि उसमें ना ही कोई calories है और ना ही कुछ ऐसा है which is going to harm you. So don't move for such substitutes. Now there are n number of substitutes in the market for sugar. Don't go for them. They are been proven to be carcinogenic as well. So never ever go for such artificial substitutes. It's better to have normal sugar once in a while instead of those substitutes. That's what I would say.
We have a question. We have a question from Simrata. How to control eating chocolates? Is there any alternative to it?
Have dark chocolate in controlled portion. Dark chocolate is an excellent source of antioxidants, which is heart healthy. So definitely you can see, cocoa as such is extremely healthy. What we humans have done, the antioxidant properties of cocoa has been completely destroyed. The amount of sugar we add to make it chocolate. In the cocoa in its purest form has the highest antioxidant properties. So that can be consumed, but it is very bitter in taste. And that's how dark chocolate is bitter. So having one or two pieces of dark chocolate is okay. Having the whole chocolate is not what I would recommend.
So we have a question from Ajit. Role of antibiotics during absorption and digestion, especially dinner. Does it lead to dehydration?
Yes, antibiotics have a lot of, disadvantages, or you could say adverse effects on your body. As I told you that it acts like a bomb blast inside your gut microflora. It's going to kill all the bad because it does not distinguish between your microorganisms. It is going to kill the good flora also and the bad flora also, and that could lead to a lot of water retention. आप कभी भी एंटीबायोटिक लोगे दूसरे दिन अपना वेट चेक करना, it would be 500 to 600 grams increase because there's a lot of water retention. Dehydration could also happen. See, there are varied number of antibiotics. They have different kinds of side effects. It could be the dehydration or water retention.
So we have a question from Saurav. If someone's body is forming higher amount of lactic and than usual, what precautions and diet change that person should take?
So first of all, lactic acid is not what your body is producing. Lactic acid is present in the curd. Your body produces hydrochloric acid. You mean when the hydrochloric acid is produced in more quantity, that means there is some mishap happening. Okay. So now understand one thing. Okay. So there is something called as valve which keeps the hydrochloric acid within your stomach. Your stomach cells are well lined with the type of cells who have no effect of hydrochloric acid. But because of some or the other, because of poor eating habits, having a lot of spicy food, a lot of oily food, leads to opening mishap between the opening and closing of that valve, leading to reflux of the hydrochloric acid to your esophagus, that is your food pipe, leading to a burning sensation. You feel the acid is produced more than acid production. The valve is malfunctioning, leading to back into your food pipe, leading to a lot of burning sensation. What you can do in such condition? Make sure you are having good amount of alkaline foods, as good as banana, your milk, having a banana palak smoothie. It's an excellent thing which all of my patients do it when they are a known case of hyperacidity. Okay, having that first thing in the morning definitely cures all your acidity problems. Have small frequent balanced meals, too early. Make sure you've been eating properly. It's not just at one go you've been having two large meals and then you're just starving. Your body is loaded with the food and then it has nothing to digest. That creates a lot of mishap. People going on extreme diets also have this problem of gut, but understand, having a small frequent balanced meal will definitely help you curing this problem.
We have a question from Sonam. How to control bile in your body?
See, you do not have a control over the production of your bile because it is something that your genetics has an important factor to play. Your lifestyle does have an impact, but genetics is one of the major reasons. Okay, any which ways you can reduce it by including a balance. What I've already been telling, having a balanced meal can definitely reduce its production, but make sure you keep yourself well hydrated. Hydration is an important point to be considered in this.
We have a question from Archana. How to improve digestive system?
See, digestive system again is very strong, but certain factors. One of them is genetic, but other than that is your eating habits. If your eating habits, first thing, one of the major reason, or as per the meta-analysis, your first thing what you have in the morning has a direct impact on your gut health. Starting your day with a tea, starting your day with a coffee, or something with an empty calories, which provides no nutrition, leads to mishap in your digestive system. Always start your first thing in your day with the lukewarm water. Add a bit of any green leafy vegetable extract or juice to that. Have nuts, handful of nuts that you can have, soaked almonds and walnuts. Have something which is healthy the first thing in the morning. Secondly, have small frequent balanced meals. Do not load yourself with a lot of food. Okay, small frequent balanced meals. Have good amount of probiotics. As I've been telling the entire session, the importance of probiotics, have that, like keep on incorporating them. Good amount of your fiber in soluble or insoluble form. These all things can definitely help you in improving your gut health.
Any other questions? Okay, so I have a question to you, Bhavya. As you know, it's very difficult to reduce weight if you are having PCOD, right?
Yes.
So it's very difficult. Like I have been through it. So how to tackle that?
See, PCOS and PCOD has its own, completely different regime to lose weight. Like for a XYZ individual who does not have it, and for the person who has it, there's a completely different regime. You need to understand that your body is working in a different way. Your body has a little hormonal imbalance. Okay, any which ways, a strong determination, a strong willpower, and being focused on your diet, having a diet which is high in proteins. Okay, meeting up 1 to 1.2 kilocalories per kg of ideal body weight, meeting good amount of your fiber and nutrients combined with the physical activity. There is something also called as seed cycling. Seed cycling is a combination of flax seeds and your pumpkin seeds in different proportions. Okay, when you combine and have it, it plays like wonders. I have my patients within a month, the cycles have normalized with seed cycling. It is really effective. So doing cycling along with a balanced diet, structured physical activity, PCOS is completely manageable. It's just that we hear things about the solution bits and parts, and that's how we try and do कि ये करने से PCOS चला जाएगा, ये करने से, ये खाने से. There is no rocket science behind this. Having a healthy diet, doing your physical activity structured in a structured way, having good amount of your probiotics, fats and oils in a balanced way, your PCOS is completely reversible. It's just that you need to do all this thing under supervision.
And also, when I start to diet and I decide to cut down on carbs, the first thing which happens is I start getting acidity. Like it is so extreme. Like, and somehow if I manage to, lose weight, when I stop dieting, it suddenly increases. Like it's very drastic. How to control that? The
See,
sudden weight increase after you leave dieting.
yes. See, one important thing is that diet should not eliminate anything. If you say that you are going to stop carbs, you are supposed to only stop the visible carbs, not, I mean, the ones which give you an empty source of calories. You cannot stop the carbs coming from your chapatis, rice, and all this. You're supposed to stop it from your coffee or the visible sugar. अब 4 चम्मच sugar डाल दो, इससे अच्छा वो stop कर दो. Stopping your chapatis and all those things is not going to stop it because it's also a source of fiber which is required for the weight loss. So understanding what you need to avoid and what you not is important. That is what it makes it sustainable. Otherwise, just stopping for a while and then starting again, you'll be back to the square where you go.
Okay. Thank you. We have a question from Mohammed. Which fiber is the best, soluble or insoluble?
See, when you say soluble and insoluble, both of them have different effects in your body. When you say soluble, it is required for your gut microflora. So, good sources could be your oats, okay, and your fruits and vegetables are an excellent source. Each and every food body has different amount of soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber is what your gut needs for having it and multiplying the existing microorganisms as your good microflora, and insoluble is required for proper, for excretion. For you to not get constipation or such problems, you need insoluble fiber, which again is also been present in certain fruits and vegetables. Okay, but having a balanced, this thing, you can incorporate your oats. You can also incorporate your multigrain. Okay, multigrain plus your, as I always tell, a rule of thumb of one fruit with a skin. Skin has soluble and insoluble fiber both. So including this, all things can definitely help in meeting up your soluble and insoluble fiber requirements.
We have a question from Archana. When I eat spicy food, I can't digest it. What should I do to improve it?
Don't have spicy food. That's what your system is not going to absorb it. It's not going to, why you want to have something which your system is not accept. Understand one thing, spicy food is a source of hydrogen ions. Hydrogen ions are already present in your body in the form of hydrofluoric acid. So it is as simple as in layman language, you are adding more acid to your existing acid. So you are increasing the production of the acid and then you're telling you're causing the problem. So what you're supposed to do, you're not supposed to have spicy food, have alkaline foods, something as good as your banana, your spinach, or as your dark green leafy vegetables, milk, all these are alkaline foods. Incorporate in your diet, have it at timely interval. Your acidity problems, your GERD problems, all are going to resolve. This all are, associated with your eating habits. Once you reverse it, definitely you're going to get amazing results.
So we have a question from Saurav. we have a very busy schedule, because of which sometimes we skip meals. Any alternative food or fruit that is easily available, especially when you are hungry, except banana.
Okay, so understand one thing, skipping meals once in a while is okay. But skipping it very often, like once in a week or twice a week, is still okay. But if you say 3 to 4 times, if you're gonna skip your meals, obviously you're not gonna meet up the requirements. I would never recommend any kind of, ready to eat or supplements or something which is, artificially prepared to meet up your requirements. So instead of banana, definitely something like a smoothie. For example, if it's little well planned, it is much more better. What happens today if you're been planned in a way that you are going to really have a busy schedule, in a Tupperware or anything in a bottle, you can just prepare a smoothie, okay, which consists of either banana or your apple, your fig. If you're not a lactose intolerant, milk, making blending it together and adding some chia seeds. Hardly it takes 2 to 3 minutes for you to do it. But having that itself instead of having a meal won't allow the acid to come up, because now acid has something to digest. You're also getting some nutrients. Any which way, it's not a substitute to a full meal, but for time being, it is okay.
And I would like to ask a question. Is it okay to have brunch? Like it
Brunch.
happens most of the time. You tend to miss your breakfast and then you directly end up doing your brunch.
See, it's good enough to, in fact, it is recommended in every diet I plan. Brunch is what is recommended. But skipping a breakfast and having a brunch is what happens, I'll tell you. The last meal, for example, you have had at 9 o'clock, you have brunch at 11. You have been fasting for 13, 14 hours. Your acid is again secreting more. Your body, within 2 to 3 hours, your glucose is down. Your body is using proteins as a source of energy for functioning. So the more longer the fasting should be, intermittent fasting when we do, you are doing it in a trained manner, in a manner that your body is going to use fat. But this is कभी randomly आपने ले लिया, कभी randomly नहीं लिया. In this case, your proteins are going to use. You will deprive. In spite of being obese, you'll be low in proteins. You'll be low in immunity. You'll get easily infections, cold, cough incidents बहुत common रहेगा. This is because your vital nutrients are low because of such eating habits.
Uh, Thank you. Mm. We have a question from Tanish. What do we do to improve bloating?
See, bloating is again an underlying cause. Why is it happening? First of all, understand that why you're getting bloated. Are you been maintaining too long meal gaps? Are you eating a lot of spicy? Are you, your digestive system is very weak? It's not been able to digest that food. See, let's understand in a layman language. Okay, khana jabi ज़्यादा देर तक, when you keep it open, you cook it at 1 o'clock and you keep it open for a long period of time, it is going to become stale. Similarly, in your body, because of some or the other thing, your digestive system is weak and it's not been able to digest the food for a longer period of time, it is going to stay there, produce those gases, and that's how it's going to cause bloating. Try avoiding raw foods first of all. See उससे कुछ फर्क हो रहा है कि नहीं. फिर भी नहीं हो रहा है, you need a proper diagnosis कि क्या problem है. Depending on the diagnosis, I can tell you what changes are required.
We have a question from Savajit. How much protein does one need while strength training?
See, strength training, if you're doing, then calculating your protein, again, the duration, intensity, and everything, frequency, all those things are important. However, calculating that if you're a male, 1.2 to 1.5 grams of protein per kg of ideal body weight is more than enough. You don't need, if you're 60 kgs, and somewhere around 75, 80 grams of protein is enough. Okay, if with the diet, if you're a vegetarian, if you're vegan, not been able to meet up the protein requirements, paneer वगैरह नहीं खाते, you have certain, this thing, then supplement is okay. Otherwise, I won't recommend. With the normal dietary food, you should meet up the requirements.
Do we have any other questions? Sort of, how to improve metabolism?
Now, understand one thing. Metabolism is not certain, this thing that it's just ये खाया और metabolism बढ़ गया. Metabolism is very complex thing, okay, which is very well controlled by your genetics. It is not something that is overnight going to change. Changing your metabolism will take a long period of time, a sustainable, long, healthy diet for a prolonged period of time. Once you stop and come back to your poor eating habits, your metabolism is going to reduce. Having a balanced meal combined with a good amount of protein, physical activity will improve your metabolism. But if you stop it, because actual uska control your genetic things have been doing it. If you stop everything, again your metabolism is going to reduce.
Okay, we have a question from Venkatesh. Extending the previous question, I see a lot of students and youngsters skipping breakfast, and moreover, they are hungry by 10 or 11 in the morning. They grab samosa or sandwich. Any message from you?
See, in such case, I would really want to, make them understand. But that is the age of negligence. They know it, they hear it, but then they don't take it into practical action. There are certain individuals which I really see up in doing it. I would highly recommend them not to do this. The way you treat yourself, the base of your building, if it's strong, it's going to move further in a better way. If the base is strong, this few years from your childhood till your teenage, your 20 years of your age is what your rest of your life is going to, because if you have been curating it properly, you're nourishing it with good amount of your nutrients and everything, the later stages of your life, you're not going to get any problems. And even if you get it, your body is going to recover it at a faster rate. And if you just keep on doing such things, your body is going to answer post 30, post 40, you're going to get all those complications.
We have a question from Mohammed Ali. During our Ramadan time, we will be in fasting around 12 to 13 hours without water too. Is it good? Anything to be taken care?
See, Ramadan is one of the best time for people who want to do intermittent fasting. So when you have seri in the morning, I would highly recommend to have an energy dense meals. Okay, so that would be a good one of the breakfast option which I'd recommended earlier. While breaking the fast in the evening time, what I would highly recommend, the first thing what you have should be alkaline. Alkaline, it would be in the form of your dates, banana, or milk, so that you are immediately curbing down your acid. So thanda kar, you're just reducing the amount of acid, and then you're giving your digestive system something to digest and absorb. So having something as good as, I see in Ramadan, while after opening the fast, I see a lot of fried foods incorporated. I would highly recommend, instead of going for something that is fried, something healthy is what I would highly recommend. Okay, something like your chila, or else something with chicken if you want chicken soup, or else chicken in the form of gravy with limited amount of oil, along with your balanced meal. Definitely you can have it.
Okay. Uh, we have a question from Rajat. Please recommend some veg protein food during strength training. Veg protein food.
Veg protein, there are many. Whether you call it your proteins, where your paneer is there, your milk and milk products, if you're not a lactose intolerant. Okay, soybeans, be little precautious while using it. The reason being, they are genetically modified. Still, if with these things, if your proteins are not met, what if you're before incorporating soybeans, understand this. So first thing before using soybeans, what you're supposed to do, roast it. Okay, soya beans roast करने हैं, overnight soak करने हैं, soak करने के बाद pressure cook करना है, and then you can incorporate in your sabji, or else whatever you want you can make it. But processing these all things to remove the anti-nutritional factors present in soybeans is important. Then to use it is very much important. Randomly, if you're using, you are going to get all those anti-nutritional factors which your system has to put a lot of stress for excreting it out.
We have a question from Savji. What is the maximum weight one can reduce per week?
Per week, 1 kg. That's what I would recommend. Depends if what is your weight. If it's 100 plus, 1.5. Don't rush for losing 10 kgs. You have not gained 10 kgs in a month. Neither you will lose. So never go for the. I see a lot of branding and a lot of people going on crash diets, or we really had a very controversial thing on this, that people who claim to lose certain organization that they will help you in losing 10 kgs. 10 kgs is not what your body is going to get used to. You will end up gaining double. You will end up compromising your immunity. You will end up making yourself prone to all infections. Losing 1 kg, 1.5 kg per week is good enough.
We have a question from Devesh. Any particular diet to cut down body fat when you have excess fat by say 11 kgs?
So basically then a balanced diet along with a calorie deficit. For losing weight, there is a how this weight gain happens. It's when your intake is more than your expenditure. That is your positive calorie balance. Now you have to reduce your intake and increase your expenditure. intake reduce, but it should not make you feel hungry. So include good amount of fiber in different forms, which I've already told. Increasing your expenditure, something as good as cardio, is an excellent form of activity where if you can improve your heart rate, and that's how you can increase the burn of your calories.
Okay, so I think we are done. Thank you, Bhavya. Thank you so much. Like, it was really something to, refer. And thank you so much for your valuable feedback. And thank you so much for doing this for us.
I would like to thank Kanyathon for giving me this opportunity to educate so many of you all, breaking the myths. And at the same time, definitely you can consult me also. And I would again like to thank Kanyathon that through this medium, I've got an opportunity, for such a noble cause. Definitely, I would
Yes.
like to thank all of you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. And I would like to make an announcement. We are coming up with an exciting challenge under the name Health Burst Series, starting from 16th of March till 20th of March. The first challenge in this list is where all the participants have to post a 40 to 60 seconds video with any girl, family, friend. So, and also in our next session, which is tomorrow at 7 a.m. to 7:45 a.m., we have Mr. Arun Prem with us, who will take a session on body conditioning. So stay tuned for more fun and many more exciting things to come. And also, with relating to this session, we will be posting a question in the social media. So please do go and answer. We have some exciting vouchers, gift vouchers. So that's all. Thank you, Bhavya. Thank you so much. Thanks
Thank
again.
you so much, everyone.
And
Thank you.
thank you everyone for being a part of this noble cause. It means a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.